I gotta tell you something right now, so get in your seat and now take a bow. Cause we gotta go and start the flick off to the shelf to pick. Oh, we have a show to put on your screen. Trust me now, cause my work's pristine. It's time to critique a classic movie. Let's have some fun and make it groovy. It's movie criticisms of movies, yeah. I said 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 it's... Hello everyone, Evan&AudreyS here. So, who is Chris Stuckmann? Chris Stuckmann is an American YouTuber, film critic, and newfound film director. He is best known for actually being one of the original YouTube movie reviewers, alongside Jeremy Johns, Doug Walker, Brad Jones, and many others. As a YouTube film critic, Chris became known for his energetic passion for filmmaking, sincere personality, and highly analytical view of movies. Heck, he actually used to be a top critic on Rotten Tomatoes. Unfortunately, over the years, Chris started to become less and less enthusiastic about his career, and this caused a lot of fans to lose faith in him. The supposed final straw, for many people, happened in February of last year, when he posted a video entitled, "I Have to Talk About This," which caused fans of his to become outraged with Chris because they assumed he would stop giving honest reviews of even bad movies.
I just saw Madam Web. There was no screening for it in my area. There were no late night showings before the day, so I had to go see it on Valentine's Day. And I thought to myself, probably not going to do a video for this one based off of what I've heard, since I do try to keep it mostly about film celebration on this channel. Having seen the film, I'm going to tell you that this is not a movie review of Madam Web. I am not about bashing filmmakers, artists. I know how hard it is to make a movie. I do not know how hard it is to make a movie under the studio system. I was able to make an indie film without a giant corporation breathing down my neck, which is not the privilege that S.J. Clarkson had when she directed Madam Web under Sony, which I can only imagine was monumentally difficult.
So what is my current take on Chris Stuckmann, you ask? Well, I don't think he deserves all the backlash that he's currently receiving right now. At the same time, I can kind of see where some people are coming from. While there is at least some soul and sincerity in his newest videos right now, he does come off as a lot less energetic and enthusiastic than he used to be. Oh, and also, I honestly think that people are acting really melodramatic about the reality of Chris's situation, and are completely ignoring three major factors that caused his YouTube shift. 1. Chris, as well as pretty much every other YouTuber in existence, has grown up and have learned a lot of wisdom about the art of filmmaking and the world in general. 2. In 2016, Chris posted a video about a possible rewrite of the movie Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and soon received a lot of hate. Some of the mean comments were actually death threats targeted towards him and his family. This incident has haunted Chris ever since. And 3, Chris has actually started getting into the movie-making business, and has been learning a lot more of what it takes to direct a film. As a result, he has begun to feel more empathetic towards aspiring directors like himself. In addition, to me, Chris has made it very clear in several videos that he wants to turn his channel into more of a movie appreciation channel than a review channel. But still, the internet refuses to listen because, well, it's the internet. Now I guess the next thing you're all asking is, Evan, why are you even talking about Chris Stuckmann anyway? He's not even a professional movie director. Guys, did you even hear what I just said earlier? Yes, he is a professional movie director, and he just directed his directorial debut now, which is called Shelby Oaks. It's a horror movie in theaters right now, and it came out October 24th, like a few weeks ago, maybe last month. And in this episode of Movie Criticims, I thought I'd review it here. So, Let's get to it. Shelby Oaks is a new supernatural horror mystery movie and the first feature-length film by Chris Stuckmann. The story revolves around a woman named Mia, whose younger sister Riley has vanished while trying to film a YouTube paranormal investigation series. Determined to find Riley, Mia must solve a dark mystery revolving around the town of Shelby Oaks, Ohio, while encountering supernatural entities along the way. Now, before I begin this review, I must say beforehand that regardless of what I'm going to say about this movie in this review, regardless, I highly encourage people to go check out Shelby Oaks. Why? Well, because, keep in mind everyone, as his directorial debut, this is pretty much the culmination of Chris's entire journey as an aspiring filmmaker and director. And plus, he, alongside other independent film directors, are often struggling for support from studios. And as we all know, the only way studios will listen is if people vote for them with their wallets. So, again, I'm going to be honest with my review here, but whether I like the movie or not, please, for the love of the Lord, go and check out Shelby Oaks and other films like it if you can handle very intense horror. So, with that said, without the way, let's review. So, the question is, what did I personally think of Shelby Oaks? Well, it's actually pretty good. Yeah, there are quite a few things to commend about Shelby Oaks. Firstly, unlike a lot of other contemporary horror movie directors, Chris Stuckmann actually knows how to do horror right. In fact, heck, he actually made a video all about that over a decade ago on his channel. Yeah. But anyway, not only does this film have quite the pretty unsettling atmosphere, but Chris actually knows how to do jump scares correctly. You see, modern horror movies often rely on loads of cheap jump scares to make the audience jump startled. A lot like this.
Hello!
Somebody give me a... Shh! Quiet, Beta. We don't scream in the movie theater, remember?
Oh, sorry. I forgot.
What's so scary about that? It's just a loud noise. The worst part, though, is that if this happens way too much throughout the movie, then the audience will become pretty much conditioned by the film to associate the horror with just a false noise to startle the audience. So by the time we reach the horror movie's climax, then the actual horror that we're supposed to fear will be quite underwhelming. However, jump scares can be done right if all of them come from stuff that you're actually supposed to be afraid of. Just watch this. Ah! Keep that thing away from me! That is how you do a jump scare. Of course, the jump scares aren't the only source of the horror in Shelby Oaks. The movie also goes quite all the way and pulls no punches with its intense gore and violence. I mean, it totally earns the R rating, and some of the imagery might even disturb some adults. Oh, and it also has pretty intense and nightmarish sound effects too. However, I do have one big issue with the movie, and that is its final ending. I won't spoil anything, but let's just say that I personally found it to be quite anticlimactic and unsatisfying. I get that Chris is trying to do the whole ambiguous ending trope for its finale, but I don't think this is at all a good example of this being pulled off right. Despite that issue, I really dug Shelby Oaks, and I'm going to give 4 points to its content. The characters in this film may not be very interesting at all, but at least they fit the story they're trying to tell, so I'll give them 5 points. Andrew Scott Baird, the cinematographer for Shelby Oaks, is quite talented to say the least. There are quite a few shots in the film that do look quite unsettling, creepy, and very haunting. Now, my one issue with Shelby Oaks' visuals is that the film does rely somewhat half of its special effects on CGI. Again, no spoilers here, but there were a couple of shots of one specific kind of creature, to say the least, that looked a little too fake. I'm going to give 4 points to the visuals of this movie. Now, most of the performers in Shelby Oaks are actually quite new to the acting and film industry, just FYI. Camille Sullivan is quite good as Mia. She does come off as believably frightened, and she seems to totally understand the material she has been given. One honorable mention in the acting goes to Sarah Dern as Riley. For the very few scenes that her character gets, Dern is just as good, if not even better, than Camille Sullivan. Now, I'm afraid I cannot talk about the rest of the major actors in this movie because quite a few of them do require me to go into spoilers for the film. But believe me, what I will say right now is that they are all very talented and totally understand what they're supposed to do. So I give the acting 5 points. The musical score for this movie was composed by James Burkholder, as well as the Newton brothers. To be honest, the score was mostly noticeable and decent, although it did lose me a couple of times. So I'm going to give the music 4 points. In conclusion, I think that Shelby Oaks is quite the solid first effort of directorial debut for Chris Stuckmann. In the end, the final product is unapologetically grotesque and violent. It uses jump scares in a way that respects the audience, and all the newfound actors in the film in their major roles are quite good. My only major issue with Shelby Oaks is the final ending, which I found underwhelming, anticlimactic, and just unsatisfying. Still, I got a very proper experience from the theater, and I'm quite proud of Chris Stuckmann for what he was able to achieve. Shelby Oaks has received a total of 22 points out of 25, earning it an A-. So, now it's your turn. What do you think of Shelby Oaks? Have you seen it? If not, do you want to or not, and why? Feel free to let me know in the comments section below. Oh, and whatever you do, if you don't have anything nice or respectful to say about Chris Stuckmann regarding that controversy I brought up at the beginning of this video, just please, leave it out of my comments. Do not place it down there. One of the last things I want my channel to become is a place to spread hate and cynicism. So don't mess with me, meanies, because I've got a big bad wolf to back me up. But of course, if you do have something nice to say about Chris and his movie, then feel free to spread the word as much as you like. And as always, if you enjoyed this review video, then feel free to like, subscribe, and/or share. So, what will I be doing next month in the next episode of Movie Critisims? Well, last season, I got totally scammed by the mediocre Moana 2, and it's especially annoying when I could have reviewed the far, far superior Wicked. So, why don't we fix that this season by reviewing its sequel? I'm Evan J. Sims, signing out. Peace!